Welcome, everybody. John Zager, johnzager.com. How's everybody doing? Good? Good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood today. No clouds, no rain. I think it's supposed to get up to 81. I'm not real sure. But it's a nice day. So, been busy this morning already. Been to the gym, worked out, cleaned up, had some coffee. I'm now on tea, some iced tea, unsugared, regular. And had a couple meetings already this morning with a couple people. One person I'm kind of coaching, and another person who's kind of coaching me. But it's all for the good. It's all for the good. And I wanted to do a podcast today because it's a subject that is on my mind all the time. And I'm trying to come to some conclusion with it. And I talk to various people about it, and I get answers from one end of the spectrum to the other. So I don't really have a resolution yet, but I kind of know how I feel and think about it. People, number one, I love people. I really enjoy people. I enjoy watching people. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy interacting with people. But people sometimes act pretty stupid. And we all encounter that every day of our lives. Just through, as an example, okay, so you know I'm not speaking out of turn. Just go drive around your city for a few hours during the daytime or a busy time of the day or something. And you'll notice people kind of do some bizarre driving things. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. And they go to stores, go to different stores, and just watch the people that are working behind the counters or that are trying to help you. Here's an example, just so that you know I'm not making this stuff up. And this is a regular occurrence for me. This isn't something that happens randomly or rarely. So I'm interested in another really nice road bike, right? You know, I enjoy summertime and road bikes and that sort of thing. And so I've been kind of wandering around at different bike shops looking for something that would catch my eye and motivate me to want to ride even more and more. And I did. I found the bike and I found the store and I went, and a lady salesperson came up to help. Well, actually, I had to ask her to help me. And she gave me all negative answers with me giving her information. I said I was looking for a road bike on, maybe not the high end, not really the high middle, but middle to lower, because, I'm not a professional athlete in road biking. And she started talking about all the expensive $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 bikes. And I said, no, you're misunderstanding me. I asked for information about blah, blah, blah. And so then she sort of reluctantly started doing that and went into all of the negative effects of those bikes if we had one. And okay, all right. So I'm just looking around as she's talking, trying to be attentive. And I said, why don't you tell me about the type of bikes that I'm looking for? And she couldn't think of anything to say other than some negative stuff. And of course, I'm thinking to myself, wow, why am I even spending any time in this store, let alone talking to this salesperson? And I said, what about this bike? I really, really like this bike, and this is exactly what I'm looking at. And she said, oh, it's the only one we have of that bike. I says, well, where is it in the price range? And she says it's, low middle. And I said, well, how much do you think it might be? And she goes to look at the tag because she doesn't know. And it's the exact price that I want to pay. And I said, could you tell me something about the bike? Can you tell me? And she kind of poo-pooed it and couldn't be specific about the bike. And I said, well, I really, really like this bike. I might want to buy this bike. Can we get into this a little bit more about this particular bike? And as it turned out, I ended up sort of empowering her that she has a really nice store and this particular bike could be very accommodating for me, and I'd like to have you, go ask your boss 1, 2, or 3 questions, and could you get back to me tomorrow because I might want to come back and buy it. And of course, she never called back. I called back, talked to her manager, which is another lady who just totally negative on the bike and bikes in general. And she's a bike store manager. So again, that's just another example. I hope I didn't take too long talking about that. I am trying to point out that there's some silly people out there doing some stupid stuff and saying some stupid stuff. So that's another example. But I go to the gym, which is a city-run experience gym that has facilities to weight lift and all kinds of things. And every day I go down there, I just watch people and I just think, did that guy really just do that? I mean, really stupid behavior, right? Stupid behavior. And then I watch staff on how they react to stupid behavior, which is behavior that's inappropriate and should not be done, right? I mean, to where they're damaging property or intimidating other people. I mean, that's kind of like a no-no, right? And the other people come to the staff and say, I'm feeling somewhat intimidated by this person's behavior and, how they're interacting and what they're doing. And it's making the whole place unsanitary and all that kind of stuff. And the staff comes back with, well, I'll address it with that person. And the person comes out and I'm standing across the counter, kind of not really trying to pay attention. And the staff member goes, well, can I give you a private bathroom for yourself? He's saying to the inappropriate client who's doing things really inappropriately and needs to be 86th, for at least a month. And he's trying to gift him with a private shower and bath room. I don't know. And kind of inappropriate response from a staff member. You might think that maybe there should be a time there for the staff to have a conversation about, the rules and regulations of the facility, and is that becoming difficult for you here, because we can't be having you conducting yourself and intimidating people in our facility. None of that conversation. The conversation is about, can I appease you by giving you a private bathroom for a period of time? You get the idea. That's another example. At any rate, there's example like that after example like that after example like that all day long, if you really go out there and pay attention and look around. I mean, I'm not even going to go into any more, because it's disgusting for me to even go back through all this stuff. And I wondered if any of you guys ever run into that. And where do you think that comes from? How do you think those people come up with that behavior, conversation, language? I don't know, how they think, act, and feel, which is their personality, right? I mean, it comes out. And I wonder if you guys had thought about that. Do you think these people just had a bad episode, that particular day, and they probably have never done that their entire life? In whatever example you want to use, I don't care. Well, the answer is clearly no. It's a behavior it's a language. It's something that they do on a regular basis. It's their personality. And, of course, where does their personality come from? And, if you went to school and kind of studied a little bit, psychology says that, your personality is formed in the first 5-6 years of life. And, it's based on modeling and information you get from the adults around you. Makes sense. I guess those adults might be your mom and dad, your adult relatives, the neighbors, TV, radio, just people you run into as a little guy, and how people conduct themselves and what they might be saying to you, which is in turn, they're giving you how life is. You follow that? They're basically informing you, giving you beliefs and perceptions about how you act, what you say, how you feel, how you conduct yourself. They're either verbally getting that to you, that information to you, or they're modeling that behavior. And as a little person, you're in, kind of hypnosis, so to speak, for the first 5-6 years of your life. And you're very receptive to paying attention to that stuff. And that becomes and develops your program. We all live by a program. It goes into our subconscious, and 95% of our life is that program. So if they teach you, or you see or watch them model stupid behavior, trying to be direct here about that, that might be something you take away. And you go ahead and grow up and you do stupid behavior. That becomes part of your personality. You watched mom or dad or aunts or uncles or neighbors or some adult as you were a little kid doing stupid things. And you're left with, well, that's how I'm supposed to interact in that kind of a situation or event. Or with those kinds of people, that's how I'm supposed to communicate. Wow. Well, I don't want you guys to think this is an all negative kind of podcast, because it's really not. Because I know as much as I'm encountering those people in my daily lives, I know you guys are encountering those kind of people in your daily lives. And there's nothing wrong with becoming aware of that and then looking around the world, the United States, and wondering why our politics are in disarray, why our economy is in disarray. Look at the housing market. Look at gas, just the money we spend on gas. There's somebody making some decisions somewhere that may not be real healthy, thought out decisions. And in turn, we're left with things like what I just mentioned. Look at the amount of homeless people across the United States. It's absurd. And look at the stupid stuff that these homeless people are doing out there. I mean, clearly they didn't come from a background that was teaching them or empowering them to do healthy kinds of behaviors or critical thinking. I do a workshop on critical thinking, by the way, and I've offered it to the city for the homeless people that we know around town that could benefit from 2 workshops that I offered them. One is on critical thinking, and not as a criticism, but just as an empowerment. Hey, you guys, let me give you an example. This is how you're saying you would interact in that situation. Let me give you an alternative, and let me hear what you think about it. Critical thinking workshop. Nobody's doing them. I can't believe it. That's stupid in itself. And the other workshop I do is, all the benefits of meditation, mindfulness. And if people actually took a course and learned how to do that and started doing meditation, mindfulness, morning, afternoon, and night, it has a direct impact on their behavior, on their thinking. You understand? Maybe you can diffuse some of the anger, some of the violence. Maybe you can diffuse some of the stupidity that's going on and show them they don't have to act that way. It's okay if they don't act that way. And guess what? There's all these benefits. And then itemize all the benefits they could get, from learning some meditation, mindfulness. Boy, that iced tea is really good. So, kind of wanted to go through that. And I'm fairly certain most people that are listening to this little podcast knew or know all of that I'm talking about already. And if you agree, drop me a line in the comments or something. And if you don't agree, just drop me a line in the comments. It's okay. Whatever your feelings or thoughts are on what I'm talking about, say something in the comments so that I can read them. And if I can reply to them, I certainly will. I'll be happy to do that. But we're looking at a country that is falling apart in so many aspects, right? Here's another one. I mean, I mentioned a few earlier, but another one happens to be churches, religion, that whole industry. And where has that gone? And what's happened there? For the better? Maybe not so much for the better? What happened to that? I drive around on Sunday just doing various things, and I go by different churches of all denominations, and they're not open. Here's another, and these are just things I'm not out there looking for. Good Lord, if I went out looking for them, I'd probably have to write a novel. But this is one under stupidity that I didn't make up. I didn't look for this. So I'm looking at the internet 2 weeks ago. And you probably saw the same thing. Okay? So it's not just me. I'm sure you all saw the same thing on the internet. Here's a lady swimming with, I think she had 1 or 2 masks on while she was swimming. And the comment of the person who took the picture and put it on the internet was critical of this lady. And rightfully so. I mean, come on, give me a break here. Give me a break. That's stupid. That's really, really stupid. I'm not going to get into the whole deal about, the virus and this, that. I mean, how many people have gone out and done research and found out what the CDC is really saying or not saying? I mean, I'm not going to say, because then somebody comes on and, they want to say, oh boy, we want to check that information out. So I'm not even going to say. But there's a lot of things that, if you research, are not the same as people understand. That's a fair statement to make. There's a guy that I know that owns a business. Very nice guy. Very, very nice guy. And I don't know if I understood what he said or not. But he made some sort of comment about the customers that come in to his business, and that, so I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember his exact words, but something to the effect of, they really can't be playing with a full deck, are they? I think that was, I don't know what the exact words are, but it was kind of along those lines. Here's the other thing that drives me nuts. We now, for a long time, we have to be so careful with what we say because we're going to offend somebody or some group. Take that however you want. I'm an older guy, and I grew up where it was okay to interact with people and make comments to one another face to face. And it was not meant maliciously. It was just all in fun. It was just all in fun. And we didn't have people that we liked better than those people or not as good, or, we didn't go down that road. We didn't go down that road. We all hung out together. We all did stuff together. I remember there's a guy notable, and he grew up in a neighborhood that was all Hispanic, right? This is so funny. And he made a comment on the internet one day, long time ago, and he said, I didn't know if I was Hispanic or not. I just thought I was. There's nothing racial. There's nothing about that that's racial. The guy enjoyed growing up around Hispanic people, and he felt like he was Hispanic. Boy, I don't believe people today can go there. I think they are so outrageously running around with such limiting beliefs and perceptions from how they were taught growing up. They can't understand that. They probably can't even understand somebody like me trying to talk about personalities and stupid people and not be offensive about it. I'm not being offensive about it. I'm just saying, where does that come from? And how does that go away? How does that go away? How do we get people to not be... So my favorite saying more recently is about, Albert Einstein. He has a lot of good quotes. Some of you guys have heard me say this before, and I'll say it again, but he said there's two things that are infinite. One is the universe, and one is the stupidity of people. And I'm not real sure about the universe. What's the other one I heard? I just get these off the internet, and I think they're hilarious because somebody else out there is probably thinking along the same lines. Here's the other one, and this one you've heard me all say before too. It's not mine. I just got it from somebody on the internet. That, how did that one go? Oh yeah. It goes, ignorance is a choice. And I can just see some people, if you ever said that to them, Lord forbid, they would probably be like, a deer in headlights. Like, what? What do you mean by that? They would be so stupid they wouldn't even understand it. I love to do research, and I love to travel and see if people are as stupid elsewhere as they are here. And my conclusion is, after years and years and years of studying, traveling, and blah, 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 people are as stupid there as they are here. So, anyway, I had fun kind of doing this podcast. Here's my problem. I got a problem, you guys, and don't don't say what you're going to say, but I have a problem. I need to have more people subscribe to my YouTube channel, which I've been doing every day, it seems like, and my podcast, which is this one you're listening to. I'm everywhere. You need to subscribe. You need to follow. And you need to share so it goes out to more and more and more people. YouTube, which is just John Zager Thoughts and Travels, and then it'll give you years and years of YouTube videos that I've done. And then my podcasts, which is again just John Zager Thoughts and Travels. I keep it all the same title. And I work under a different headings, but you're going to find that general category under podcasts and under YouTube videos. And I really, really need you guys to subscribe, share, and follow. Everybody says that, but there's not a lot of money in any of this stuff except for maybe an elite few percent of people in the world that are the gurus that make the money, I guess. But I sure would like to make enough to pay the monthly bills if at all possible. So if you could do that, that would be great. Now, I'm also on iTunes. I'm on Apple. I'm on Facebook everywhere. I'm on Instagram everywhere. I'm on LinkedIn everywhere. I'm on Twitter everywhere. I'm on all the podcast networks. Obviously, YouTube. So I would ask you to spend a little extra time, effort, and energy to go seek me out in those two categories. And if you could subscribe, share, and follow, I would appreciate it. Now, here's the last comment. And I'm going to have a podcast, and maybe I'll do a YouTube on it too. But here's the last comment. I'm a research guy, right? 45 years in clinical psychology, 12 plus years in research of neuroscience and stuff, and I love it. But here's the deal. And tell me if this is true. Write down in the comments if this is true or not. And if it's not true, say, John, I don't think it's true for me. Just spend a couple extra minutes and energy to give me an answer. I believe that a person's personality has to do with their moods. And some decisions are based on their mood interpretation of you rather than informative, factual information of you. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think some people will say, I'm just not going to do that because I don't really like John. I listen to him once in a while, but I really don't like him. You know, they're having a mood thing going on. and they won't go and, you know, do a little bit extra to help me out kind of thing based on their mood. Their mood comes from their personality. Their personality comes from when they were a kid. They learned the mood thing from the adults growing up. I had a therapist. Well, I don't know. I've known this guy who's a therapist forever and ever and ever. And I used to think in the beginning, he was pretty straight up. He never really offered much information, but he could write a book. And over the past few years that I've known him, I watch him all the time, He reacts based on his mood. So there's these people over here who are not supposed to, they're supposed to be above that. And they're not. Some of them are not. I watch people in authority, and you do too. You do too. You turn on the TV, you turn on the radio, you turn on the internet, and you get to see people in authority acting. Oh man, this is so true. Acting based on their mood. I'm not going to go down the politics road, but there's some people in this party that are so angry at somebody or people in that party that they make decisions for you and me that may not be in our best interest, but in theirs, because they're angry at that person in the other party. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I know you guys experience the same thing, and it's disheartening. I guess that's a good word to use. Anyway, I need to build up my numbers. Go do whatever you have to do to get more people to listen to me, and I will be grateful. Grateful, grateful, grateful. Okay, everybody. God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and I look forward to talking to y'all again real soon. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.